Hello. So, a bit unfortunate really. When I was getting this centered, what I discovered was that this center mark is actually off relative to the back center mark and the OD. Having done a bit of a quick check, it looks like this bolt pattern is concentric with this and the counter bore on the back side. It looks like this bolt pattern might actually be off, which is a bit of a surprise because I spot faced all of those at the same time in one setup. I did, over a period of days when I had time to work on this, have to shut the machine down and keep coming and refinding center, and that's probably the way I did it, was probably not accurate enough, and that's probably what threw it off. I'm still surprised though, because I thought I piloted all of those in one sitting. But anyway, since I know this bolt pattern is concentric to this, I'm going to proceed. I've got this within 1 thou, and it looks like the actual roundness of the part is about 1 thou, so that's as good as I'm going to get it. So I'm going to machine the boss. It'll be concentric with that and with this bolt pattern, and we're just going to have to hope that there's enough slop in everything that this will all still work, and if it doesn't, we'll deal with it at that point. On we go. So I'm using the upside down boring bar to turn this. I'll be able to get this far enough in to get the 6-inch boss. I've got my temporary splash shields on. I think we just have to give it a go. First off though, I need to know what that diameter is. $15.825. Yes. Everything's clear. Stand well back. Now I need to take 40 thou off the face. let's have a bit of a look at the setup. This little piece of sheet metal, it's actually aluminized aluminium, is just a splash guard. This is just to funnel the coolant back into the tray so I'm not losing it all over the floor, because that stuff's expensive. This actually works really well in conjunction with these temporary steel sheets, just to stop the vast majority of it going across the workshop. But here's the big deal. I've been using this boring bar upside down in order to get out to the extremity I need to remove this material. And that works, except that in turning the machine in reverse to use this, because the boring bar is upside down, and this having an interrupted cut on it because of, this part of the material isn't flat, and so it's got an interrupted cut on it. As the cut comes around, it's lifting, it's deflecting the whole machine, and I can see it doing it. And it occurred to me that this machine isn't made to be used that way. I mean, yeah, it's sort of, but it's not the ideal way to use it. The machine is built so that as the work comes around, it pushes this all together. And I'm sure there are bigger, more rigid machines that would be able to withstand that without any problem. So despite that, it's working really well. I've got a set of parameters, speed, feed, and everything that's making good chips, that's allowing me to chew away this material very quickly. But I think I've got rid of enough now that I can change over to a more typical tool holder, and I think I can get on it. I'm going to try that, and if so, I'm going to go back to using, just a regular tool and finish turning that diameter. So if not, I'll keep going with this until I can, and then we'll see if I can take even bigger cuts. And see where we get to. I got a left hand facing tool. So that I can turn this in the correct direction. I needed the boring bar to get across, all the way across the OD, although in retrospect I wish I'd just made a tool holder. That seemed like a good idea at the time, but really going in reverse with an interrupted cut on a what was I saying? Going in reverse, oh no, yeah, on an extended tool was not a good idea. It worked, but would have been faster and easier with this. This tool won't get across there, so I still would have had to do that, but this will be a lot better here. So let's test that. It's all right. Holy crap. Nice. I think that's going to be it for the day. Let's see where we are. $460, so 40 to go. $40 off the face, $30 off the diameter, some deburring, chamfer that edge, and we are done. That's for tomorrow. Much better. Did you see something there? Well, in recap, got the two spacers bolted together here, just to kind of confirm fit of the boss into the recess and the bolt patterns. I did this both ways, this one on the back side of this one as well as this arrangement. Just a quick crude check. Now, not actually that complicated parts really, just larger than I've ever handled before. Few things didn't go as well as I had hoped. Certainly my approach in terms of the interrupted cuts by putting the bolt patterns in first was probably not the best way to go. If I were to do this again, I think what I would do is weld tabs on the outside diameter and make some bars up to hold these on the faceplate, and that way I can machine the boss, get all of this to size, and then put the bolt patterns in afterwards, which would give me a feature to reference the bolt patterns to. In the end, the way I did it I think was okay, but I used far too crude of an approach to tie the centers of the bolt patterns together on the back and front side, and in the end I'm pretty sure the two different bolt patterns are not fully concentric. My estimate is they're about 15th thou off, which is quite a lot really. Not enough in this case to be a problem. So going with it as it is, can do better. Certainly got to know a lot about my lathe and how to set that up for larger diameters. The right tooling so that you can run the lathe in the correct direction is paramount, and give the tool the best support possible. I thought I was being fairly smart to use the upside down boring bar for the OD, but a better tool or a custom made tool holder to allow the lathe to run in the forward direction would have been better. But got it done. Took longer than I anticipated, but got it done successfully. Parts have come out very nicely, honestly, very happy with these. So we'll call it a win. In the meantime, be safe and well. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. And wherever you are in the world, be safe and well. Watch out for the Rocher, and be seeing you. Well, here's how I should have done it. I put together this little SolidWorks model here just to illustrate it. What I should have done was taken a couple of bars of material, and I do have material this sort of size lying around, and I could have milled these flat and parallel on each side, popped a few holes in, and then these could have been mounted on the faceplate, and then I could have made a few tabs to weld onto the slug for the part, and the whole lot could have been assembled together. Would have looked something like this. So there's the faceplate with the intermediate bars, and then the slug can be bolted onto those through these welded on tabs. Then I wouldn't have needed to put in any of these bolt pattern features. I could have just concentrated on getting this turned down and the face cleaned up, this turned down, and then the counter bore on the other side and the other side cleaned up. Get all of that work done. Then taken it off, gone to the mill, put all the holes in, and then come back to the faceplate, put this directly on the faceplate and just turn the OD and clean it up. That would have been, although it was an extra setup, would have been way quicker than the way I went. I didn't think these bolt patterns would be as big a deal on the interrupted cut as they were, because I've done interrupted cuts before, but not when you're trying to remove this amount of material. It was horrific. It was absolutely horrific. You know, got through it, and the job went fine in many regards, but it took a long time. Once I actually had the right tool, I was able to remove material off of this very quickly with the right tool, with no deflection. But there you go, lesson learned. I should have Should have gone this route. I did this because, you know, I had 8-hole bolt patterns and my faceplate happens to have an 8-slot pattern in it, so I just kind of naturally fell into the idea of using this and keeping the setups to a minimum, but the work in it was far too much. So there you go. That's what I should have done. An intermediate mounting feature, and it would have been done in a fraction of the time. You live and learn.